It's getting oddly warm everywhere in the world. Here in Canada, for example, I remember 2 years ago seeing this mini Spider-Man trick-or-treating during a snowstorm on Halloween. This year though, I saw the same Spider-Man eating ice cream outside because it was warm, just a little windy.
Spider-Dwarf, get my plane! And that's how trees are made.
Some people ask, hey, what if the sun is the reason why everything's heating up? Well, the sun is not necessarily the problem. It is actually the solution. And yes, we've known this solution for a long time. Longer than what you might be thinking now. Every time humanity got close to harnessing a fully limitless form of energy, we've always simply hit the brakes. This energy is universal, clean, and essentially has no limit. You might be thinking, wait, don't we already have nuclear, geothermal, wind energy? And sure, those sound great on a human scale. But if we zoom out for a second, on a cosmic scale, they are not so common. You can't simply stumble across a nuclear reactor on Mars, or a waterfall on the moon, or a gust of wind on Jupiter. I mean, you can definitely find wind on Jupiter. But if that's the case, you would end up looking like Deadpool.
I've never been a natural bottom, so we're gonna take things real slow, and I want some crazy eye contact.
Life itself has been powered by this energy for billions of years, long before humans came along. Nature figured out this ages ago, and they have been thriving because of this source of energy. But guess what? Back in 1878, yes, you heard me right, 1878, when we discovered this energy, humanity had different plans in mind. Let's jump to Paris, 1878, back when the Eiffel Tower would not even be built for years to come. An exposition was created to showcase inventions from around the world, a tradition that continues to this day. It was called the World's Fair. But since we are in Paris, l'Exposition Universelle, thousands of inventors covered 66 acres of the streets of Paris, showcasing their inventions. But don't picture it like nowadays iPhone announcements, where a guy wearing a turtleneck tells you why you should buy their overpriced phone.
I'm Steve Trabajo, founder and CEO of Pineapple. Check this out. See that? It makes me way better looking.
Back then, there were no appliances. You couldn't even have ice cream. Not because your little brother would eat it all, but because they didn't have any fridges to store their ice cream. That's such a tragedy. To give you a little bit more context, Edison's demonstration of the light bulb wouldn't even happen for another year. We were still using candles to light our homes. Auguste Mouchot, this dude with a crazy mustache, said that the sun belongs to all of us, providing free, unlimited energy. He created this futuristic machine, a solar power concentrator, a machine that converted solar power into mechanical power, being able to take something as hot as the warmest days in Miami and turn it into a nice generator machine to make ice cream. And yes, he did take the gold medal from that fair in that 1878 afternoon. Well, if we knew of solar energy and knew how to harness it since the 1800s, why didn't we keep doing it? And if you're liking the video, why haven't you given it a thumbs up? And if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel, ring that bell, and let's get back to the video. And it would have made so much sense because there were no cars that ran on fuel. There were no machines that needed oil to be running. We could have easily started with the right foot and made all our appliances and electric grid solar based. But by those years, the price of coal plummeted so cheaply that there was no interest in solar energy. You might find that stupid. I know, I find myself stupid as well. Oh wait, it was I find that stupid as well. Well, I guess I am stupid then. But think about it. Ask yourself, what is the main reason you don't have an electric car right now? Why don't you have a full solar panel grid to power your home? If you're one of the sharks in Shark Tank, it might be because you just don't want to wait 30 minutes for your Tesla to charge up. But if you are one of my people, the main reason you don't have a Tesla right now is because you are broke, my friend. So it makes sense to always go for the cheapest and most affordable for the majority. In addition to this, no one really understood what the consequences would be if we continued burning coal and oil. Our mustache guy research was cut off due to the lack of interest in his science and the solar energy he was creating. But 35 years later, another door opened for an alternative future. 35 years after Augustin Mouchot. 35 years after Augusta exposition in Paris, in the land owned by Sphinx, in those warm and dry days of 1913 in Egypt, a scientist from Philadelphia, Frank Schumann. Why do you all have a mustache? I guess that was the style back then. By the time Frank got to Egypt, he had only had 3 years of formal education. But his skill for innovation was incredible. Before he was 30, he invented safety glass. Yes, the one Donald Trump wished he could have had at that rally.
Total control. Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. You know
that invention saved countless of lives and made Schumann a very rich man, rich enough to pursue his real passion, solar energy. Schumann led his team to build an array of solar concentrators that were able to power a steam engine. You see in the cartoons how they are hugging a bunch of coal into those chambers. Well, what if I told you that we could have had a solar-powered train by 1913? That sounds really nice, but that wasn't Schumann's real goal. His real goal was to irrigate the whole Sahara Desert, to make it green. Imagine how cool that would be. The official inauguration of Schumann's solar power plant was in 1913, and it was a dazzling success. We finally had a practical way to harness solar energy in an industrial way, now making solar energy even cheaper than coal. The British and German government both offered big loads of money to fund Schumann's research, for him to keep working on irrigating the whole Sahara Desert and also making this solar energy more affordable and obtainable for customers. Schumann had big plans and dreams. In a letter that he wrote to Scientific American, he calculated that if he deployed his solar power plant in an area of 150 miles square, the amount of energy that could have supplied could have been the same amount of energy all the industries in the world consume. What can stop solar energy now, right? I mean, we're all set. Well, the market for fossil fuels was exploding. They were using it for cars, trucks, home heating, shipping, anything. Oil was abundant, and it was much cheaper and easier to get out of the ground. Just think about this. It took 100 men to fuel one ship in 1 week. But with oil, it only takes 1 man to fuel 1 ship in only 1 day. I know that just that doesn't sound very good for Schumann's idea of having a civilization powered by solar energy. But there were more bad things happening at the time. A year after Schumann's success in 1914, World War I broke out. His solar collectors were recycled into weapons. Frank Schumann's dream of a solar-powered civilization would have to wait another 100 years. Let's zoom out for a minute and see how incredible solar power really is. Solar energy does not only mean solar panels, it also means wind energy, because our star drives the winds and waves that nowadays we also use to generate electricity. Now, did you know that more solar energy falls down to Earth than the amount of energy our entire civilization consumes in an entire year? If we could just harness a tiny fraction of the solar and wind power available out there, we could literally have infinite energy, and without adding carbon into the atmosphere, making Halloween's a bit colder for that poor Spider-Man that is going to put on a jacket. So, since solar energy is so amazing, why haven't we embraced it yet? The truth is, we are getting there. Solar panels are more affordable than ever before. Cities and industries are shifting towards renewable energies as well. And while it took us over a century to catch up with Augusta and Schumann's visions, we are finally realizing that the solution was right above us. The sun has been powering life on Earth for billions of years. Look at all the plants around you. Or if you're in a basement like me, there's not much to look at, to be honest. Anyway, the point is that we need to harness this energy, not only for ourselves, but also for future generations. Thanks for watching. See you next time.